Here is a summary of the article Discovering Tut. The Saga Continues by Anne Williams. King Tutankhamun, colloquially known as King Tut, belonged to a powerful Egyptian dynasty which had been in power for centuries. Tut's ancestor, Amenhotep III, ruled for almost 4 decades. After Amenhotep III's demise, his son Amenhotep IV became pharaoh. He changed his name to Akhenaten, encouraged the worship of the sun god Aten, and banned the worship of a major deity, Amun. He also shifted the religious capital of the empire. After Akhenaten's death, an unknown ruler reigned for a year before Akhenaten's son, Tutankhaten, became pharaoh. He changed his name to Tutankhamun and restored the worship of Amun. However, around 9 years into his rule, he passed away unexpectedly. King Tut faded out of public knowledge till the discovery of his tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter, a British archaeologist. The tomb was surprisingly intact and full of valuable objects that were intended to serve the pharaoh in the afterlife. Several months later, after documenting the objects found, Carter finally began examining the coffins. On opening the outermost coffin, he found a shroud with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petal, and cornflower, evidence that the burial took place in March or April. The innermost coffin, made of solid gold, contained the mummy of the dead pharaoh. Carter discovered that the mummy was stuck to the bottom of the coffin. He tried to loosen it by exposing it to the harsh Egyptian sun, hoping the heat would melt the resins. Eventually, Carter and his team decided to use chisels to cut away the mummy from the bottom of the coffin. To remove all valuables which adorned King Tut's mummy and to save them from being stolen, Carter's men had to hack off most of the major joints of the mummy. They even separated the mummy's head from its body. The remains were reassembled in a wooden box with padding to conceal the damage. Archaeology changed considerably through the years after Carter's discovery of the tomb. With rapid advance in technology, the focus shifted from finding treasures to analyzing intriguing aspects of life and death. In 1968, an X-ray revealed that King Tut's mummy's breastbone and front ribs were missing. In 2005, the mummy was taken for a CT scan to determine how Tutankhamun died and at what age. Tutankhamun's mummy was the first of the estimated 600 mummies scheduled to be CT scanned. The mummy was carefully raised up from its tomb, which was 26 feet underground, and taken up to the scanner. But in 20 minutes, the scanner unexpectedly stopped due to the sand in the cooling fans. The scan continued after substitute fans were provided. Once Tut's mummy was scanned, specialists in radiology, forensics, and anatomy began analyzing the scans. Surprisingly clear images of King Tut's body could be generated from the scans. In less than 3 hours after the mummy had been taken out, it was restored to the tomb. Tutankhamun, the boy king, was back in his tomb, resting under the stars, more famous in death than in life.